What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy J Tuck, real Cowboys fan, stand up. So let's go ahead and get into it. So Mike McCarthy just concluded his press conference, and a lot of interesting things we definitely got to discuss. And one of the very first questions that he was asked is about the second-year guys taking a leap. Now, we all know about that line, Michael Parsons, right? He said Mike is incredible. He's learned a lot from his last year, from his rookie season. We're already seeing that translate on the field. Now, in the locker room, they was poking some fun at Micah. They were saying Micah didn't have no sacks last game, man. They call him goose egg, and Micah don't like to be kind of made fun of, right? So Carson Wentz, I don't know what to tell you, but, Mike McCarthy spoke about Osa, but one name that we definitely have to highlight, he spoke very highly about, for the first time I'm kind of hearing it, was Kelvin Joseph. He mentioned Kelvin Joseph received the game ball when it came to special teams. And he's also saying, we all know what kind of happened and transpired this past summer. But he said when it comes to Kelvin Joseph, he is seeing a lot of consistency. And he said that's what's important to him. It's just being the same guy every day. And he says when it comes to Kelvin Joseph, he is seeing consistent work ethic, just being focused on football. And that's something we've all kind of preached. Like, we just want to see that from Kelvin Joseph because we all know the talent is there. I mean, like, Kelvin Joseph is the type of player that can just wake up. He don't need to stretch. He don't need to do none of that. Just go out there and just play the game of football. But it's really about utilizing your God-given ability and putting that together with the work ethic and also the focus. And it sounds like thus far, Kelvin Joseph is starting to do that. So kudos to you, Kelvin Joseph. Keep it going, bro, because we're definitely going to need him. Not only this season, but in future seasons as well. He talked about Dak Prescott. So a lot of people have questions about the timeline when it comes to Dak Prescott. When is Dak going to return? Now, I know some Dak haters in the channel. We don't need Dak back, Tuck. We don't need Dak back. We don't need him. If he comes back, it's going to mess up everything, right? Whatever. All right, so he spoke about the timeline when it comes to Dak Prescott. He did get the stitches out, but we're waiting on the swelling to go down because what you have to understand, not only does Dak need to be able to grip a football, throw a football, be accurate throwing the football, right? But also someone mentioned, taking a snap, getting that constant pounding on that hand. So, I think it's going to be next week is where they really try to wrap up and kind of test and see where Dak is standing. So there's no timetable as of right now. I know there has been reports about week 6 versus Philly. I can kind of see that being the timetable for Dak's return. I mean, Sunday Night Football versus the Eagles, big division game, Dak returns. What more can you want? That's just a spectacle. But speaking of injuries and returning, we got some great news, y'all. We got some real great news. Mike McCarthy came out and said, when it comes to our wide receiver, Michael Gallup had a great week of practice. And if everything goes well tomorrow, you should see Michael Gallup on the active. And man. Now, I know Michael Gallup's going to be his first game back, and we don't want him to press and re-injure himself. But Michael Gallup came out and spoke last week. He said, you know what? I didn't want to play because my mental just wasn't right. I didn't get a full week of practice, only had 2 practices. I just didn't want to put myself out there in a situation. So Michael Gallup, after a full week of practice, if everything goes well, we could see him return. Now, it possibly could be in a limited capacity, right? But it's definitely good news for Cowboys fans to start hearing about Michael Gallup getting revved up, because now you're kind of seeing Noah Brown emerge a little bit, right? You're seeing CeeDee Lamb, kind of do what CeeDee Lamb does. Add Michael Gallup back to the mix, and it's only going to help our offense, because Michael Gallup, we know, is our big stretch to field guy, our big jump ball guy, especially in the red zone. He can do a lot of things that currently right now, we just don't have that kind of player, right? We were kind of banking on Simi Fioco, possibly Jalen Tolbert kind of stepping in and taking that role. They just haven't as of yet. But if you get Michael Gallup returning, it's definitely going to open our offense, not only for CeeDee Lamb's standpoint, but also for the run game, because you definitely have to respect it when you're out there one-on-one versus that big physical wide receiver. So if Michael Gallup is able to bounce back this week, I think this is the perfect week to do it. Kind of get him ramped up, kind of get him to the rhythm, get his sweat going, right? Don't overplay him too much, right? And get him prepared for the Rams and also for Philadelphia. Talked about Jason Peters. Now, I had said this last night on the show. Salute to my guy Rio Robinson. If you didn't check that show out, definitely give that show a glance, because we went into depth when it comes to this Washington Commanders team versus Dallas Cowboys on Sunday morning, right? But Jason Peters, he said they're still slowly ramping up Jason Peters. It's all there. They know what he brings to the team. They love everything as far as leadership is concerned with Jason Peters. But he said right now the left guard position is still going to be rotational. Now, I'm not a fan of that, Cowboys Nation. I'm going to be honest with you, because I feel like this week, like I said last night, you got some guys in the middle that, with Campbell and also Payne, that can cause havoc, right? And I don't know about Matt Farniok, and Tyler Biadasz is going to have to be on his A game, but you have an interior defensive line in Washington that can do a lot of damage. Then you got to face Aaron Donald. We know what that means. And then you got to deal with Philly's front. We need Jason Peters for these next 3 games. Jason Peters can rest after. He can rest after. But as of right now, man, I need to see Jason Peters be a full goal. So I'm not really sure what they're waiting on, if there's any injuries or whatnot. But, man, put him out there. Those 14 snaps is all I needed to see last week. Let him get ramped up and let him get prepared, because we're about to get into the trenches of this NFL season. But overall, man, good press conference. I like what I heard from Mike McCarthy. He was dressed, suited, and booted. Mike McCarthy was dressed kind of fly, bro. I see you, Mike. But, it was a good press conference. But I feel like the biggest news, the biggest takeaway from it is that we could possibly see the return on Sunday of Michael Gallup, MG13. And I cannot be more happy about that. Man, it's your boy, J Tuck. Comment, like, subscribe. Also, follow me on all social media platforms. Salute to everyone on Cowboys Twitter. We have reached 14,000 followers on Twitter. Can y'all believe that? For people who's been watching my channel since 2020, man, this room was empty. It was empty. It was nothing up here but a Dez Bryant poster, and I had a laptop on a lunch tray, right? We have grown tremendously. Salute to everyone on Twitter who gives me a follow. Sometimes I'm like, why do y'all even follow me, right? But I appreciate all support, Cowboys Nation worldwide. Everyone who subscribes to this channel, Instagram, TikTok, Cowboys TikTok, they rock with me heavy there. I just love talking to passionate Cowboys fans, and I do it for you guys, man. So follow me on all social media platforms, JTuck151. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, CFOsportstalk.com to get your merch. And I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and I got a pack, because I'll see y'all in Dallas on Sunday. Peace.